Hey everyone, and welcome to part 3 of building a vintage look electric fireplace. If you've caught up on parts 1 and 2, you know where we're at. We're about to build inside the firebox with the bricks. We're going to do the lighting. We're going to do the fireplace insert itself, finish up the trim work, and then you'll get to see how fantastic this project turned out. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get busy. Okay, so for the fireplace bricks, slight change. I found these smaller ones. I don't really care for the spots and things like that in them. So I'm using some flat black to kind of give them a uniform look. And also a fireplace look. And I'm not going to go over them completely. Just enough to kind of black them out a little bit. I do want to black out these sides more towards the fire pit area. So this is the furthest in, so that gets most paint and then fade it out. I'm not going to do all of them at first. So see, here we go. See how it's kind of settling in. It kind of has a more uniform look to it. This is probably going to be one of the bottom bricks, so I need this guy here. To be the opposite end of it. I don't like those spots. I just don't like it, and I couldn't find any that didn't have it. It's like, I suppose they think that's a feature. All right, that's enough just to get me started, because I'm going to start putting the first few up. I mean, honestly, they kind of just look better with the black paint on them. So I don't think I need to worry about going a little heavier on it. It's flat, so. Nice not having to worry about how good a coat you can put on it. I do not like those spots though. They just look like they've been outside. And these are new. See, if it dried gloss, it'd be a big problem. It would look terrible. But this will dry flat, so see. I think we're good. I think I can kind of do the whole batch. I'm not sure how many I need. I may have overbought. I wasn't sure. I think I needed 8 per side, and I bought 2 spares. Hopefully those spots don't keep coming through like they appear to be doing. Put it on even heavier. Could they do? See, there's a couple different styles, but they don't vary too much. What I wanted to do was get some of the old cobblestones from the Plant City roads. But I didn't have any luck, even though a lot of people have them in their yards. Nobody wanted to give up any. So I'm going with these. And it's going to be removable. So if I don't like it, or I do get the Plant City blocks, I can take this out. Going heavy on the spots first, then doing a light coat. Spot's not coming through. I guess it must just be something they did on purpose. I don't know why. Okay, so I can start laying a few down because this stuff's going to dry quick on this porous concrete. It's going to just soak right in, and it is almost 90 out, so it's going to be quick. Now I suppose probably I'll just do the rest, paint the rest of these, and then go inside. I'll be back. So what I got on the bottom bricks, just for the bottom ones, I'm going to be putting these under them because I don't want to put scratches in the granite. Not that I think ultimately it makes a difference, or that these will do that good a job, but there'll be a little bit of protection there. Because these are thicker than these. I gotta cut this one in half. Okay, the felt pad's cut in half. So I'm putting the wide brick on the bottom on both sides. No particular reason. This also makes it a little easier to slide in place if it's on the felt. Just want to go out and out there with those. All right. So let me get some other bricks. Okay. Change of plans again. I'm gonna put the flat side in here. To open it up just a little bit, because these are longer than I would have hoped, but not too long. So we gotta go over 7. Up there. Okay, now I can start bringing them in and stacking them. This guy's gonna go back out. Alright, I think you've seen how it's going to go. I'll be back. Okay, I'm building the cross beam to go on top of the bricks. I don't really have great wood for it. I've got this, which is not great wood. Getting through to that. Fortunately, I don't really need it. I don't need an exact cut because most of the edges are going to be hidden. Hopefully I've got enough of this black stuff. This is the front board, so I need to stain the whole thing. It's better. It's in the sun, so I would expect these will dry pretty quick. Okay, it stains mostly dry. To give it a little bit less of a wood texture and grain, I'm using matte hammered black on the front surface. I'm going to put a pretty heavy coat on too. I've tried textured paint and it just didn't look very good. Not that I expect this to make this look like metal at all. I don't. I expect it to look a little bit better from 10 feet. So I'm putting it on very heavy because I do want to get that kind of hammered texture out of it. If I really think it looks good, I might put regular gloss black on it, but I think this is going to do it. Probably don't want it to be gloss anyway. Okay. Yeah, actually that did a pretty good job of hiding it. I mean, it still would, but kind of hid the wood grain a little bit. We'll see how well it dries. It's hot, but it's getting late in the day, so we'll see. It's going to take it a while to dry, I think. Hopefully you can see this texture that hammered has really come out. This is after sitting for a few minutes, only about 10 minutes, and yeah, I think from a distance it's going to look interesting. It's not as flat as I would have liked, but it's close. A couple of years ago, I saw an old 50s or 60s stereo, one of those console jobs that everyone used to have back then, was being thrown away, and the cabinet and everything was bad, and clearly nothing of it worked. It wasn't worth saving. But what I did notice was these. There were 4 of these on it. So I saved them, and I think I've got a purpose for them now on the fireplace. So that board that I painted with the hammered paint, it's one way to distract from the fact that it is actually just a board painted black is to add something to distract the eye, and that's what I think these will do. And I'm not going to polish them because this look is how they came. They're meant to kind of look old, and the fact that they do look old is going to really help make the fireplace look old. So how I'm going to put them on is taking them, and I've got these postcards. I've got these postcards, right? And I think I've got them set up right. So they kind of are going to tell me where the holes should go. And then all I've got to do is cut right across here, right across there, and I've got a perfect template. And I've got a postcard for both of them. So let me cut that, and then I'll know where the holes go, drill the holes, and I can try to put these on and see what they look like. Okay, they've been cut to fit, so now all I've got to really do is put the paper on where I want it to go, and that'll show me where the holes go for these. So let's go fit them, drill some holes, and see how it comes out. So how this is going to work is, here's your medallion, and it's going to go about here. So I don't have to worry about the positioning of this board so much. And then, once I figure it out, so it goes about, just say there, I take the paper and keep it in the spot, take the medallion off, and then just mark the 2 holes where the holes are going. Okay. Now I've got a damp paper towel that I'm going to use to catch the sawdust. Not that it's that big a deal, I just don't want to worry about it. Now, gotta check, make sure the holes are wide enough for this thing. And if anything's off a little bit, we can always reposition it later. I picked a drill size, it's very tight. Not gonna quite fit. Okay, and once you get to that point, it's a matter of getting your screw in. I could just take the board out to do this, honestly. Okay, one in. So maybe a little harder to thread. Okay. Looks good, looks authentic. Let's get the other side done. I'll be back. There you go, recycling at its finest. From an old 60s console stereo to my antique looking fireplace mantle. I'm gonna try out, see what these look like when applied. These little decorative pieces. So I've got to put a few coats of stain and then clear coat them to try to get them to match. I've got 2 corner pieces and 1 center. If they look good, I may need more corner pieces, but I didn't want to buy a bunch of things I'm not even going to use, so we'll see. They're only a few dollars a piece. I think I paid like $6 to $8 for the center one and $4 each for the corner ones. So we'll see how they work out. I'm using the same golden oak stain. I'm using it liberally because these are notorious for absorbing the stain instantly. So I'm putting it on pretty heavy, so it'll get in all the little grooves. Look at how fast it dries. It dries almost immediately. But I'll put just 2 coats. Then let it sit, and then I'll put a few coats of clear on tomorrow. To make sure I get every angle. See, like right in there. I didn't get that. In here. It's tough with these things. Doing them one-handed. Okay, that's one. I'm gonna do the other 2, and then we'll see how they look. Okay, I've got 1 corner one up. Again, it's kind of guesswork on how these go, but I put the other corner one up and then we're done. of the tape in a half hour or so. And we'll see how they look. Okay, 2 corners, the center. I suppose I could have put 2 more corners down there. I always could later. It's not like these are hard to do. These would actually be easier than those. Easier to reach for sure. But at the time I was thinking of putting the corners over in here. But you really don't see that from any angle. So since I had them, I put them up there. All right, the appliques, I guess you would call them, are on, fully set. Let's back up a little bit. Good. So now you see they kind of make this thing up top look more like the Fireplace because they've got the scroll work or the carvings on them now. So I'm gonna put this on the tripod. Now we're gonna do the very last steps, which is hook up the fireplace itself. Oh, so let's look at the inside of the box. So what I did was the outlet, if you can see it, is actually in here. So I added a little extension cord, make it a little easier to plug in. So what we're gonna put in there, is this. I'll cover this in a different video. This is, I believe, a 1930s Magicoal electric fireplace unit that I've kind of cleaned up and fixed or made the wiring safe and all that. And it's interesting how it works. It's got, normally it comes with 2 incandescent bulbs. They're kind of red. And the heat from those turns these little spin wheels. But I'll cover that in a different video. We'll just put it in here and get this thing lit. And I gotta be careful. This thing's actually quite heavy. I gotta be careful too. Not scratch the granite. And also not throw my back out when I do this. Get some dust on it. So the other thing I'm gonna do to light it is I've got this light. So this is a color changing LED and I've got a little remote for it. I'm gonna clip it up inside here on the frame. You know, for starters, I don't really feel that I need this. Let's take that off. And put this thing back together. Okay, we're going to clip this right there. Let's just try it first. Eventually I'll tie those wires out of the way. So the reason I put this bulb up there is it's going to add a little ambiance light and color. So I may replace the actual bulb with a flame flicker bulb, but for now we're just going to do it like that. Get the cords out of the way, and then I've got an antique fireplace screen, and I have had this for about 25 years. And it's one of the few things that I moved down to Florida with. All right. So with that, see the little blue? You can see just right there. See the little blue from that bulb? It just adds a little ambiance to it. Not much. I gotta check tonight and see if it shows up anywhere else, because this is wide open behind the mantle. We may get light through there. Yeah, oh yeah, see? See, so I'm gonna have to seal that up. And we may get light up at the top as well, which one doesn't bother me as much. But there you have it. So that's it. As I said, I will be doing a video on restoring the Magicoal fireplace. It's just not really part of this, so I didn't include it. It's a big job, and it will just drag this video out. But that's the last step. This is part 3 of the video series, and the fireplace is now wired, electric, and complete. And I think overall, I'm very happy with it. I think it came out great. It's so interesting because you could see in the course of the other videos, Tyrone and I kind of figuring our way out as we went along. I had a goal. I had an idea of how it was going to work out. It worked out, and ultimately I think it looks better than I imagined it would look. I imagined it looking very much like this, but in person it's really striking. So hey, don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this sort of content. I've always got more projects coming up. And, you know, if you want to tackle something like this, it's carpentry work, it's some electrical work, but, you know, for the most part, it's imagination. You probably know some people, like I know Tyrone, that can help me out when I think things are going to get a little bit overwhelming for one person. So don't be intimidated. You can figure it out. You can do this. Just go out, get busy. Take care. One last look, top to bottom.